Columbia News at 11.
We preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of this state,
the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of these United States.
and the Constitution of these United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Henry McMaster takes the oath of office, officially becoming the 117th governor of South Carolina. Well, good evening. I'm Alicia Barnes.
And I'm Ben Hoover. This evening's swearing-in ceremony took only a few minutes, but the events that led to it span months.
Our Alexis Frazier joins us live now from the State House with more on making of a governor. Alexis.
Ben, Alicia, it's official. Henry McMaster is officially South Carolina's 117th governor. Now, this moment has been in the talk for months, but today, Haley got officially accepted as the ambassador of the United Nations. As for Henry McMaster, he gave a brief speech at the ceremony today, but he didn't touch on any plans he has for his new role. But his excitement was pretty hard to miss. Take a look.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
In a room full of senators, longtime friends, and family, Henry McMaster officially took on his role as governor of South Carolina.
I am humbled, honored, and deeply appreciative of being granted one of the rarest opportunities to serve the people of my state.
This is a change of power, not something we see often in South Carolina. Last time, I believe this happened over 50 years ago.
Former Governor Nikki Haley showing her support at the swearing-in ceremony.
There is lots of work to do, but we have the right person to do it.
Haley will take on her new role as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations.
She has great skills, particularly in a crisis situation, and being an ambassador to the United Nations, you're going to be dealing with crises on a daily basis, and she has proven she can work with crisis and has done a very good job in South Carolina.
State senators weighing in on this transition of power, saying they're confident in McMaster's capabilities.
My hopes and prayers are with him as we move forward, that he will continue his service in the governor's office and that he will keep the open door that he has to people of all parties and bring them together.
I think if one looks at Henry McMaster and what he's accomplished, he was United States Attorney, he was Attorney General, he was Lieutenant Governor. No one has brought those kind of credentials to the governor's mansion.
After a historic day, senators say it's time to look ahead.
And there's no problem that's too great if you have people that are working together. And so if you have common sense for the common good, we can get good solutions for our state.
Well, as for what's next, the senators will meet here tomorrow at the State House to elect a new president pro tem, and that person will take on McMaster's old role as lieutenant governor. And again, all this is happening tomorrow starting at noon. Live from the State House, Alexis Frazier, ABC Columbia News.
And the incoming governor's resume is very different from his predecessor.
Yes, he's been around a while, part of the South Carolina political landscape for decades. McMaster served as the state Republican Party chair in the 1990s. He was elected state attorney general twice during the Sanford years. Then he ran unsuccessfully for governor in 2010 before ultimately becoming lieutenant governor, being sworn in 2015. But perhaps the decision that moved him into the governor's office was his endorsement of Donald Trump for president of the United States. McMaster's coronation does not come without controversy. Right now, there's a petition on change.org demanding that McMaster forfeit his membership to the Forest Lake Club. Critics say the club has a whites-only policy and has yet to accept an African-American member, a claim the club denies. So far, the petition has a little over 300 signatures.
And now the Honorable Nikki Haley served as the governor of South Carolina since 2011. Haley now moves on to be the UN ambassador under President Donald Trump's administration. So let's take a look back now at her 6 years here and the impact she had on the state of South Carolina.
Governor Nikki Haley leaves the helm, announcing 85,367 jobs, 667 projects, and $21.5 billion in investments, with jobs created in every county of the state. Now, looking back, Haley admits her excitement about what she's accomplished with ethics reform and education. But her time in office has not been without controversy. After winning in a runoff election, Haley was elected governor on November the 2nd in 2009 over Democratic candidate Vincent Shaheen. And her victory marked her being the first Indian American governor for the state of South Carolina. Now, her first term was riddled with accusations of infidelity, rumors, and racist remarks, all claims that were never substantiated. And Governor Haley rode a wave of popularity into her second term. And when the national spotlight fell on our state, Haley answered the call. A police officer charged in a fatal killing, a church massacre, a 1,000-year flood, and a hurricane, all that happened under her watch. In an effort to heal the state, Haley orchestrated the removal of the Confederate battle flag from the state capitol. And now, as Haley moves on to her next role as UN ambassador, she couldn't be prouder of her state and says there are scars that will never leave. Now, I recently spoke to her one-on-one about her role of being South Carolina's first female governor, and she had these words.
This will go down as the biggest honor of my life, having served the people of South Carolina. And I just am extremely grateful that they gave me a chance when not a lot of people did, and they said, let's see what this girl can do.
And tonight's change creates a vacancy in the lieutenant governor's office, a vacancy that it's taking some creativity to fill everyone's liking.
Yes, it ended up not being as simple as the state constitution dictates. Gabrielle Franklin has more now on the state's most powerful senator and his sidestepping to the post.
This possibly could be the last day Lieutenant Governor McMaster presides over the Senate.
Lawmakers in the State House prepare for a transition of power Tuesday. Longtime Senator Nikki Setzler says the Senate has a plan in place upon Governor Haley's official confirmation.
If Henry McMaster becomes governor tonight, as we anticipate, then tomorrow when we go in, Senator Leatherman will resign as the President pro tempore. We will elect a new President pro tempore. The full Senate will elect a new President pro tempore who will then become Lieutenant Governor. And when he or she becomes Lieutenant Governor, then the Senate will elect another President pro tempore to proceed for the next 2 years.
One legislator says he's up for being elected the new pro tem and ultimately Lieutenant Governor.
And at that time, I will be a candidate for President pro tem. And should my colleagues honor me with that position, I will ascend to Lieutenant Governor.
With lawmakers planning on Leatherman's resignation, some believe he may be elected to the same seat he just vacated.
I certainly think he is a candidate, and I think he's got a lot of votes.
Tomorrow's Senate session is scheduled to begin at noon at the State House. Gabrielle Franklin, ABC Columbia News.
Again, in case you're just joining us tonight, Henry McMaster was sworn in this evening as the 117th governor of South Carolina. If you missed any part of our team coverage tonight, please go over online to our website at abccolumbia.com.
Meanwhile, at the State House, State Representative Chris Corley resigned from office today. Corley was indicted on a felony domestic violence charge earlier this month. He's accused of punching his wife and threatening to kill her. Today on the House floor, Speaker Jay Lucas read Corley's one-sentence resignation. Lucas said he had prepared a resolution calling for his removal, but was grateful the House did not have to take such measures. A special election would reportedly cost taxpayers more than $30,000. Corley's former Graniteville seat represented more than 37,000 people.
In Washington now, Senator Lindsey Graham is not backing down from being a critic of President Donald Trump. Today, Graham says that the president's continued claim that millions of, quote, illegals cast ballots for Hillary Clinton is undermining confidence in the American democratic system. Well, today, Graham urged the president to either present evidence or move on.
One of two things need to happen quickly. He needs to share with us the information he has, or he needs to recant this. So if he doesn't recant it and he doesn't share the information, then, and we continue down this path, it will undermine his presidency and shake confidence in our democracy.
Senator Graham's criticism of President Trump goes back to the campaign for the Republican nomination for the White House.
There are some changes to the list of items that you can take inside the Lexington County Courthouse we need to let you know about. Today, Lexington County Clerk of Court Lisa Comer announced the previously banned cell phones, strollers, and bags will now be allowed in the building, but are subject to search. Guns, knives, and anything else that can be considered a weapon are still banned. Well, changes of another sort at the courthouse in York County. The Rock Hill Herald is reporting a Confederate flag and portraits of Confederate generals were recently removed from the building. Clerk of Court David Hamilton says, while history is important, the future is even more so. Hamilton added that it is critical that everyone feels they are being treated fairly in a courtroom. Well, we had a cool night out there, not too chilly, I would say.
No, we actually took a little stroll around the station, and I thought the weather's pretty nice.
Bearable.
I did have a coat on, you had shorts.
Yeah.
Chief Meteorologist John Farley joins us live right now in the Weather Center with a look at our current conditions. Hey, John.
Yeah, we're doing fine out there tonight. You too, check it out. Temperatures here, generally upper 40s, couple low 50s. Camden coming in a little cooler than that. Not sure that that's an accurate reading, but tonight will be, I'll say, cool. By the time you get up tomorrow morning, the morning commute, you'll need to run the heat in the car. Temperatures generally low 40s, but clear sailing all the way through. And I will tell you, if you're one of those people who really likes the warm spring-like sunshine, well, take in tomorrow as much as you can. Tomorrow afternoon's high will top out close to 80 for some of us. So 77, somewhere in that range, so mid to upper 70s. But you know, it's January, and it's going to feel a lot more like January starting Thursday, but more so toward the end of the week. We'll go over all the details on that coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you so much, John. Students at one Midlands high school resumed school this week without two of their classmates. Bamberg Earhart High School students Kaylee Parker and Hannah Furtick were killed on Sunday. Now, troopers with the Highway Patrol say they died following a head-on collision with a tractor trailer. The Times and Democrat reports a joint funeral for Parker and Furtick will be held at Bamberg Earhart High School. This will be held tomorrow at 3. Richland County Coroner Gary Watts says a man hit by a car on Garners Ferry Road last week died yesterday. Watts says the 57-year-old Michael Deese was hit by a car on Friday night near the Hallbrook Drive intersection. Now, the Highway Patrol is still investigating tonight, and there's no word yet on if there's any charges that are going to be filed against the driver.
Richland County deputies are looking for suspects they say left a Midlands gentlemen's club with guns blazing. Investigators say just before 4 in the morning, back on January 14th, 4 men were kicked out of Club La Royce near Hardscrabble Road. Deputies say following a fight, the men fired shots from a gray Jeep similar to the one you see pictured right there. No injuries were reported, but several cars were damaged that night. Police in Sumter are looking for a man and woman they say took several guns from a local pawn shop. Investigators say on Friday the duo seen in these images entered Top Dollar Pawn on McCrae's Mill Road and stole the weapons. If you recognize those people, you're asked to call Sumter Police or Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC.
All right, staying on the crime beat tonight, federal prosecutors say 2 South Carolina gang members pleaded guilty to a wide range of crimes. A spokesperson for the U.S. Department of Justice says Joshua Manigault and Damian Robinson admitted they were part of the Wild Boys, a violent street gang based in South Carolina. Investigators say the men admitted their gang participates in racketeering, also in assault and robbery, drugs, and also murder.
In Orangeburg, deputies say the law caught up with a Nice's man wanted for domestic violence and kidnapping. Sheriff Leroy Ravenel says U.S. Marshals arrested James Boffman in Columbia today. Investigators say last November, Bauman held a woman and her teenage daughter at gunpoint at a home on Drag Strip Road. An upstate man is charged with assault after officers say he attacked a woman's car with an axe. A spokesperson for the Oconee County Sheriff's Department says Benjamin Cheek of Walhalla threatened the victim after she showed up to check on a friend. Deputies say the victim was shaken up but didn't require any medical treatment. Cheek tonight is charged with attempted murder.
All right, let's talk about online dating. Well, dating as a single person can be scary for some, but according to one study in South Carolina, it can be downright dangerous. According to the study conducted by highspeedinternet.com, South Carolina is the 6th most dangerous state for online dating in the country. Now, the study was based on the STD rates in each state, as well as instances of violent crime. Interesting. 6th in the country.
It's up there.
All right, coming up, the next time you go grocery shopping, you may be able to pick up a job as well.
Plus, 5 points will be the spot for shoppers this weekend. We'll tell you why.